Good afternoon, intuitives. And I believe I have quite an important narcissistic tactic to talk about. It's something that those of us that have dealt with narcissists, and particularly borderlines, have been subjected to. You know, when dealing with a narcissist, one must be careful because, and more so borderlines, they can turn like that at any moment. And there is no pattern to their behavior of what sets them off. The slightest thing that upsets them can build up a narcissistic rage seemingly out of nowhere. So, of course, the tactic I'm speaking of is walking on eggshells, and how the narcissist purposely uses these freakouts, uses these bursts of anger to essentially make everybody walk on eggshells and be so careful about challenging them on any of their lies or slander or gaslighting or their other narcissistic tactics. So I'm going to dive into why and how the narcissist uses the tactic of walking on eggshells. So walking on eggshells is a term most commonly used when a narcissist trains us to be careful who we are when around them for fear of reactions from them, fear of getting angry with us, or fear of abandonment. Yes. So, the narcissist, when walking on eggshells, we are taught to walk on eggshells to please them. Because remember, with the narcissist, everything centers around pleasing them. Because as I've said before, but I'm going to say it again, the narcissist views you as property. The narcissistic parent views you as an extension of themselves. And the narcissistic partner is not your partner, they are your master. Very important points to remember. Never forget. And you're never going to change that about them, by the way. So, one of the reasons why a narcissist wants you walking on eggshells around them is so you're afraid to speak up about anything. You're afraid to speak up about their abuse, their behaviors. You're afraid because it'll cause an argument. It'll also could cause you to be embarrassed because the narcissist, more so the borderline, will throw a tantrum and make a scene anywhere in front of anyone because to them, they're in the spotlight at all times. Everything revolves around them. Everything revolves around pleasing them, how they're feeling, and what they want. Number 2, fear of receiving anger from them, but in passive aggressive ways. So this point is more the covert narcissist. So if you're not walking on eggshells and you slightly upset the covert narc, they're not going to freak out and have a big meltdown and throw a scene like the borderline would. But they're going to start making passive aggressive comments. Say you're out in public, the covert would then be putting you down or, seemingly accidentally exposing secrets, things of that nature. It'll be very passive aggressive. They'll start gaslighting you then, but they want you walking on eggshells to prevent this because, as we all know, narcissists are capable of anything. Number 3, why they want you walking on eggshells, is fear of making a noise that might disturb them, not knowing what their reaction will be, and it'll cause them to sulk. This is when the narcissist will use like the silent treatment or, not speak in full sentences, like, what you did, or things like that. Like, yeah, each narcissist has their own different way of doing that, but they'll give you 1-word answers, 2-word answers. They'll sulk and they want you to feel bad for doing something, but they can't tell you what it is because if they actually said what it is, it would expose them. So they just want to lay that guilt trip on you to make you think you did something so wrong, but you don't even know what it is. Narcissists love that. Narcissistic abuse does that to you. The long-term effect of them getting you to walk on eggshells, that's the end result. To get you to believe that there's something so wrong with you that you can't see it, you can't understand it, but that the narcissist has to keep you in line all the time, to make sure you don't mess up. Mess up how? You don't know. They can't explain it because it isn't anything wrong with you. It's about pleasing them and you bending to their every whim and not exposing them for who they really are, because some narcissists wear masks better than others. Coverts are the best at it. Well, There's other subtypes, but coverts are better at it than overts, and borderlines, that mask doesn't stay on very long. Very long. 4, fear of, they want you walking on eggshells, fear of how you, damn, what did I write? They want you on eggshells not only in what you say, but in your appearance. I thought I wrote dressing. I wrote dressing, and how you're dressing. So the narcissist wants you to ask their almighty approval for everything, and this can extend to how you dress. If you don't dress in the way the narcissist wants, then you're going to hear about it and they're going to put you down. For example, a narcissistic man a lot of times, well, most of the time, will treat his girlfriend as some kind of trophy. So perhaps he would want that girlfriend to dress in a way that she might not be comfortable with, but it doesn't matter because, or what she's wearing may just in general be uncomfortable because she's his trophy, she's his prize, she's his property. And perhaps if she didn't and chose to dress the way she wanted, we'll give 2 examples. Say in one way he doesn't approve of the way she's dressed, and he'll make comments like, oh, you look like a prude, or, you look like a 12-year-old boy in one way, and the other way, say things like, well, oh, you look fat in that, or oh, you look like a whore kind of thing. But either way, the end game is about her looking however he wants her to in that situation in order to show her off as, some kind of show pony, like, I'm hitting that kind of thing. Disgusting. I will say this, narcissist. I'd love to see you try to tell a female witch how to dress. That won't end well. Be quite entertaining to see, though. Witches do what we want all the time, pretty much. And yet to meet a pushover female witch. Well, I knew a woman who was quite the pushover, who claimed to be a witch, but that was, I think, just her way of, manipulating me. Anyway, back on point. Number 5 reason why the narcissist wants you walking on eggshells is fear of not responding to their phone calls and text messages instantly. And the reason why they want this is, multifold actually. 1, they need to know that, like a dog, when I call, you come kind of thing. And also, narcissists, they're really jealous. So they want to know that no matter what, even if they know you're with some friend that you've always just been friends with, that you're catching up with, they want to know that, they'll push away any other person when they come. Because, narcissist number 1, all the time, what I say when I say. And the other reason they want you walking on eggshells when they call or text is so that you're in fear constantly that if you don't answer immediately, that narcissist, if they know where you are, they're going to show up there and they're going to make a scene, which can be particularly embarrassing, especially if you're not at home and you're out in public. Yeah. Well, again, that's more of a borderline thing, or a borderline thing might be, for instance, if they're favorite person, which I've explained what it is in other videos, is on a date with somebody and the borderline is obsessed with this person they've deemed their favorite person, they'll just show up at the target's house, the favorite person's house, and wait there, and then, refuse to leave for days until the favorite person breaks up with the person they were out on a date on. True story. So, number 6. They want you walking on eggshells, so you're afraid to live your life and be exactly who you want to be. So yes, not only is you are the narcissist property, you must dress the way they want. When they call, you come that instant. When they say jump, you say how high. But also, you're supposed to, change your personality, what you think, believe, and be who they want. And this point can go to, if your, say, political views different from the narcissist, they don't want you voicing what you think. You're supposed to parrot what they think. Everything is supposed to be an extension of them. So you're not supposed to express yourself in any way for who you are, but you're going to express, what they want you to be, and constantly be worried if you fall out of line for fear of a freak out. 7, fear of asking others for help in case they don't believe or understand you. Now, this is a big one. This is the narcissist doesn't want anyone knowing who they really are. So they want you to fear what would happen if you would even consider or the slightest hint to somebody else about what's going on, like somebody who you trust as the target who would have no problem standing up to the narcissist. No, they want you, like to think all hell would break loose if you dare even give someone a hint that they're anything less than perfect. Number 8, fear of not making their meals right for reactions. Ooh, this is an interesting one. I once had a relative who was married to a narcissist, and this narcissist, uh, had her trained so well that I kid you not, this is some 50 shit here. When he came home from work, she had to pour him a beer before he got from door to kitchen. Well, one day after speaking to other relatives of mine, she didn't pour the beer right, and the narcissist sulked and said, I can't drink that. You didn't pour it right. And, she finally had enough and said, well, if you can't drink it, you can wear it, and threw it on him. And that was the day that marriage ended. It was quite glorious to see. And I don't even like that relative that much. So that's telling you what kind of narc this was. So, number 9, fear of going out or talking to your friends that could lead you to slowly end up becoming cut off from them. In other words, they want you walking on eggshells about doing things without them. I've seen this. I've been through this one. Basically, if you, the target, can go out with other people, people that you actually like, people that treat you like a person, and you do that more and more, you'll slowly see how you don't need the narc, how everything they say about, you're so lucky to have them and you'd be nothing without them. You're out there, it's like, I really don't need this person. Big fear for the narc, because the narc needs you to think that the narc is your whole world, and they'll cut you off from anything and anyone who could empower you to think otherwise, and thus leave the narcissist and them no longer getting their supply. So they'll want you walking on eggshells at the mere mention of you going out with your friends or doing anything without them there, that they can keep an eye on you. Because you've all seen it, a couple together where one of them's a narcissist, when the target strays away and talks to somebody else and appears to be happy or laughing, narcissists loses their shit, arms get grabbed, it gets bad. And number 10, they want you to especially fear being judged by others if you speak up. And this one is part of their facade. I spoke about speaking up, but in this case, I'm talking about speaking up in the sense that the narcissist is going to, try to condition you that, like, they're this pillar of the community and so perfect, and that nobody would believe hearing anything negative about them. My family's been here for 4 generations. That means I'm a prince because I said so. Seen that happen too. But that's what they want you to fear. It's like, oh, if you try to tell people that, I mistreat you, no one will believe you. I mean, my family runs this township because we said so. And that cultish groupthink forever high school mentality especially plays into that. And that's what, they want you to fear. Like, you're so lucky to have me and be associated with me and my people. And, in this township, I can do no wrong because my last name is whatever it is. That kind of thing. So they want you walking on eggshells to think, even at the mere mention that the narcissist is less than perfect, that nobody would believe them and everybody would assume that you, the target, are crazy. And they love that. They love making you think that you're the one that's crazy, that, they're perfect and you're just needy and asking for too much, and that, you could do no better. Yeah. So, pretty important about the way the narcissist uses this tactic of walking on eggshells. And very briefly, what are the causes that happens to you, the target, after being subjected to this insane behavior for a period of time? Well, briefly, having to constantly walk on eggshells, you're in fight or flight all the time, you'll develop anxiety, as I did. You'll have a severe loss of self-esteem, feel like you can't make your own decisions. Gee, I know someone going through that now of her own free will. You'll feel completely shut off from the outside world. As I said, they want you to think that they're your whole world. 4, you'll be constantly apologizing to others because you'll be so worried about every little thing you say. Not only that it'll upset the narcissist, but that someone might think like that they're not perfect. You'll leave your own inner critic behind. In other words, you won't trust your intuition. Your whole will, everything will be about pleasing the narcissist. And you'll think every thought you have must be wrong. And you must ask the narcissist because they are all knowing and they have conditioned you to believe that whatever you're thinking is wrong. And you must check with them first. You'll have a lack of personal freedom and sense of self. Can't go where you want to go, do what you want to do. Again, everything revolves around the narcissist. You will develop an intense fear of speaking up for yourself. Yeah, that one's self-explanatory. And you'll be full of blame and self-doubt. This is what the effects of the narcissist conditioning you to walk on eggshells does to you over time, relatively quickly too. So that's why, I think this is one of my more important narcissistic tactic videos. I hope it's helpful. Remember, if you're dealing with a narcissist, no contact is the best answer. If by some extenuating circumstances, such as children, you cannot go no contact, then you must maintain low contact. I hope this video was helpful. Please like and subscribe. Click the notification buttons. Maybe you'll get notified when I make more videos. Depends on how YouTube feels about me this week. I think it varies week to week. And, if I did a good job, there's a super thanks button and links in the about section to send a tip to further encourage me to keep running my mouth. But I guess, I admit I'm not that good at this. I'm just trying to help. I'm an introvert in front of a camera. I'm doing the best I can.